Well, hello. Welcome back to my vanity slash bathroom slash disaster zone. Yeah, this video is kind of exciting for me because I have so many nail polishes and I haven't been wearing nail polish. And at the beginning of the year, I think it was the beginning of the year, I was talking about empties and project panning and all of these things, and I thought, oh, I'll do the nail polishes every week, or nail polish of the day, and it just hasn't happened. So I am going to be swatching and going through all of my nail polishes and hopefully decluttering a majority of them. So if that sounds interesting to you, stay tuned. By the way, if you're new here, hi, welcome. My name is Em and you're watching Makeupry. Alright you guys, here we are in front of my nail polish collection. I have to say I have over 100 shades, and at one point I used to wear a lot of nail polish. I still wear nail polish on my toes, but I tend to get pedicures these days, so and then I just don't wear a lot of nail polish. But I don't want to get rid of it all because there are some formulas here that I really like. There are some colors that I enjoy that I probably will wear if I can kind of get rid of some of this stuff so I don't feel so overwhelmed by it. So what I plan to do is swatch everything and then decide maybe 10 to 15 colors that I'm going to keep. About that many? We'll see. I'm not going to commit to a number because it just depends on how things swatch. But anyway, the polishes I don't end up keeping, I'm going to hand off to my sister. She does a lot of resin art, and one thing that you can do with nail polish that's really cool is you can use it for a lot of arts and crafts kinds of things. I've used nail polish to create little flowers and little cute things like that. So if you're interested in how what that is, I can link a video below where I'll show you how I made these little 4-leaf clovers using nail polish and wire. I know, right? It sounds kind of weird, but it's kind of cool. So I have everything color coded, from reds and berry tones to oranges to yellows, greens and teals and blues, and then pinks, and then whites, and then random browns, neutrals, and then all the random stuff down here that I just need to go through. Holy smokes. Look how much there is in here. Oh my gosh, this is going to be so heavy. So I'm just going to dive into the box and I'm going to swatch 4 colors at a time and just kind of go from there. This silver color is really cool. I'm going to think about this one because this one is newer and I still like it. I just don't know if I'm going to wear it, which probably means I should get rid of it. I'm going to set this one to the side as a maybe. This one I'm definitely keeping. As I look at it on my nails, I think I actually want to wear this on my nails right now. I'm going to pass on this one here from Finger Paints. It looks really cool in the bottle, but as you can see, applied, it's just kind of bleh. You really have to pile it on. This would be better served for a different purpose than for me to try to use it on my nails. So I'm going to pass that one on. I don't see myself wanting to use this, especially since I know I have some others that are similar, so I'm going to pass that one on as well. So then I also have these two right here. I'm going to throw these away. This one was really fun, and I used to use this one in nail art all the time. It's a Wet n Wild and Fergie collection, and it still comes out of the jar, but it's really sticky and clumpy. And this is just old and not even moving in the jar. I'm sure it's completely dried up, as you can possibly see. Out of these 4, I'm going to keep the China Glaze one called Change Your Altitude. This one is a really nice pigmented taupey gray, and I actually do see myself wearing this. This one here is kind of cool looking on the nail, but I don't see myself actively seeking it. I like that the gold glitter are in flakes and kind of shard looking things, which kind of gives it that antique look, but again, I don't see myself wearing that. This Milani Sparkle one is just not my flair. I don't see myself wearing this. If I do want a glitter, I'll just apply a loose glitter over the top of a gel and then seal it in. I don't need to deal with sponges and applying nail polish in that way. The same goes for this opal one. This one was really pretty. I love the base and I really like the little flecks of opal glitters, but again, I don't want to mess with glitter particles and trying to make them even on my nails. So out of all of these four, I'm only going to keep the China Glaze one, and I'm going to pass these other three along. This one's kind of tough because I really like them, but at the same time I'm realizing I need to declutter. I kind of want to keep this one. This one's a really pretty pearl nail polish. It's a pearl base with a green shift, like a minty green shift, and it's really pretty, and I do see myself wearing this, maybe. I'm going to set this aside as a maybe for now. I am going to pass this one on. I remember buying this color thinking, I love yellows. For a long time, I really loved yellow nail polish, but I'm just not really into it anymore. So I'm going to pass that on. The Sinful Colors one, I thought initially I was going to pass it on, but I'm looking at it on my nails and I really like it. It's kind of a cool silver gunmetal and it's pretty opaque. This was just a one pass. And also, don't mind my ugly nails because I need a manicure. But anyway, I like that color. It's really cool. So I do foresee myself wearing it. So I'm going to keep this one. And then as far as this China Glaze one, the color's really fun. I just don't foresee myself wearing this particular shade. So I'm going to pass this one on as well. I think I'm going to keep this one. I really like it. I'm looking at this white one and I don't know if I didn't shake it up well enough or if it's just really old. I'm gonna set this white one aside for now as a maybe because I do love a good white nail polish, and this one's one of my favorite nail polish formulas, this Extreme Wear from Sally Hansen, because it's usually really opaque and it wears really well. I'm gonna pass along Cab Fair because even though I love the color, I'm just not gonna wear it. I'm gonna pass along this blue with sparkles because, you know, I'm not a big fan of the suspended sparkle in a colored nail polish because it just takes so much effort to get the glitter to be evenly distributed. I'm going to keep this gold because this one is really pretty and it's quite opaque. And then the white one, I'm going to set aside as a maybe in case I do have another white in my box here that I like better. And I'm going to shake it up and see if I have better luck with it not separating. Otherwise, I'm going to throw it away. So I absolutely love this Pure Ice color. I remember why I bought it. It's because it was super pretty. It's getting a little old, so it's a little clumpy, but I don't have any other colors that are quite like this perfect blackberry shade. I think I have something in my collection that can thin this out, so I'm gonna double check and see if that's the case. So this one's a maybe. Okay, right off the bat, I'm gonna throw this away. It has dried up and there's no way I can even reconstitute it, so goodbye to that. For this Gimlets one, that is so fun, and I do see myself wearing it. For a glitter, I love that it's opaque and it's uniform on the nail. These are my kind of glitters. I love a glitter that looks like this, high shine, there's no gaps, you don't have to fuss with it. That is my kind of glitter, so I really like that, and I'm gonna keep that. This orange one, I'm torn. I am torn because I love this orange shade. I just don't know if I'm gonna wear it, to be honest. I do love a good orange, and this one's really pretty. I love that it's more of a red orange. So I'm gonna put that as a maybe as well. Alright, so out of these colors, I love this Rise and Shine one. This one's so pretty. That is just one coat. For a $2 nail polish, man, this rivals some of those high-end ones. I'm definitely keeping that. It is such a beautiful shade. I'm going to pass the silver along. I have other silvers that I like a little bit better. I don't foresee myself wearing this, to be honest. And as much as I like this glitter, it does apply quite uniformly, but at the same time, it's not quite my style to have a sheer nail with glitter particles, so I'm going to pass that on as well. And the same goes for this silver one, Explosive. I don't want to fuss with a non-uniform polish that I have to, use a sponge or something to apply. So I'm going to pass these three on and keep this one. And just a quick note that Rise and Shine stained my nail pretty badly, so right off the bat, I know I'm not going to keep this gray one. I am not a fan of the color. It's really sheer. It's time to let that go. I'm also going to pass along this Essence one. It's really pretty, but I just don't see myself wearing it. And since I kept this one, I'm going to pass this other one along just because I don't need two that are similar. Alright, now comes the hard part. I love this color, but I'm not the biggest fan of matte nail polishes. To fix that, I could easily just put a top coat over it, and that will make it not matte. They'll make it glossy. And I love this blue shade, but it's really thick. Because this is a matte formula, I don't think I'm going to be able to salvage this with a thinner. So I'm going to have to throw this one in the garbage. And then I'm going to think on this one. As much as I love this yellow and how pretty it is, I'm going to pass this on. I just know I'm not going to wear a yellow nail polish anytime soon. And I want to keep this, I do, but the formula is really thin and I see it being a little finicky to have to wait and dry and have to do multiple layers, so I'm going to pass this one on as well. I used to love applying this with nail art, and I think I did a tutorial using this, but I'm going to pass this on. It's a pretty color. I just don't see myself doing a lot of nail art these days. And this used to be one of my favorite pinks because of the silver glitter in there, and you don't often see pink with silver, but I'm going to pass this on. It's the lightest, almost white, kind of off-white pink. It's just not as pretty as I remember it being, so I'm going to pass this on as well. So I'm not actually keeping any from these swatches. And then I also have this one here from China Glaze. This one is called Glitter Me This. I'm going to throw this away. This one is not even coming out of the jar. It's too dried up. You know what? I kind of like all four of these colors together. I just kind of want to leave my fingernails like this because I love this color palette. And I would do rainbow nails like this. However, I think it's time to look at passing some of these along. So this one here, this Revlon Apricot Nectar, what's really special about this is that once it dries, it's supposed to smell like apricot. I don't know if it still does. This isn't fully dry yet for me to tell you, but I don't think Revlon makes these anymore, but they were kind of fun. It was a scent that only lasted for like until you washed your hands, but it was fun nonetheless. So with this, I really love that color. I love this color and I plan to keep this. And because I like that color and these two are very similar, this one here I'm actually going to get rid of because as I said, I'm not the biggest fan of a matte formula. So I'm just going to pass it on. I don't need to keep both. This Finger Paints one is really pretty. It's a nice coral shade and it's pretty opaque. I'm not sure on this one yet. I'm going to think on this one and put it in the maybes. I'm going to pass along this pink one. It is your typical metallic Barbie pink, and I'm just not into that kind of pink these days, so I'm going to say goodbye. This one is really pretty. I'm kind of torn on this. I love the color. I just don't know if I'll wear it. So I'm gonna also put this one in the maybes for now. First glance, I was thinking I was going to pass this on, but seeing it swatched on my nail, I love that there's like this duochromatic effect here. It's a magenta red violet base, but it's got these really pretty magenta and purple glitter particles in there, and they actually apply quite uniformly. So I'm going to keep this. This is really pretty. This one here I'm torn on because I love the color. I have these two here that are very similar, and I don't need both, to be honest. So I'm going to compare them side by side really quickly. This one is just a tad bit darker and more green, whereas this one is more like blue. I'm torn. So I'm going to put both of these aside for a minute and see which one I like better. I don't see a need to keep both, to be honest. They're too similar. This mint chip one is so pretty. I love that color, but again, it's a matte formula. I could always put a top coat on it and it'll make it glossy. And I don't have any other light greens, so I'm going to keep this one. I'm going to pass this one on. Again, I don't really care much for suspended glitter in a clear polish base. The glitter applies uniformly, but I just don't foresee myself using this as like a glitter topper, so I'm going to pass that on as well. So going back to these two, I'm going to keep the Sinful Colors one, and I'm going to pass this one on. It pains me to pass it on, but I just know myself, I'm not going to wear it. I haven't been wearing any of these polishes, so I got to be real. I got to be ruthless. I can't possibly use all of these. I haven't been, so goodbye. No, okay. Right off the bat, I know I'm going to keep this one. This is such a pretty unique shade. I love that it's unexpectedly like reminds me of like raspberry cream. Oh, it's so pretty. Definitely keeping. I'm going to pass this one on. It's a pretty color, but it's just not wowing me at this point. It does still kind of smell like grape, but I don't need it for the scent, to be honest. So I'm going to pass this on. I'm tempted to keep this. I know I said I don't really care for fussy glitters that I have to use as a top coat, but this one's kind of fun. This one's really unique because of the color story that it has. I kind of see myself wearing this over a black, to be honest. I'm going to put this in the maybes because it just, I'm torn. I'm torn on this one. So maybe on this. And then this white one looks really pretty. Again, I'm not the biggest fan of matte formulas, but this one is really opaque and there's a little bit of a sheen to it. So I really enjoy that. The sheen is a little bit of a gold tone, so it's a warmer white. I think it looks really pretty. I'm going to keep it. I'm deciding. I'm keeping that. Alright, right off the bat, I already know I'm going to keep this one because it is so new, and I did wear this around the holidays, and I really love this tone. It's really pretty. I'm going to pass this one on. This one barely registers a glitter. It's more of a sheer polish with just a tad bit of glitter. It's very deceiving in the bottle though, but I'm sure if you use more of it, it would look really cool. I think this would be really cool to use in like resin art or something, so I'm sure my sister will really like this. I'm also going to pass this blue one on. It's a really pretty blue, but it's very sheer. You would have to do 2 or 3 coats in order for it to be completely opaque. I just don't like the color payoff on this, so I'm going to pass that on as well. This red is really nice. It is kind of an orange red. which I'm enjoying. I think this is perfect for summer, although I don't wear a lot of red nail polishes, so I'm also torn on this one. So I'm going to put this as a maybe for now, and I have a ton of other reds that I want to sift through before I decide on which ones to keep, so a maybe. I am going to pass this Cosmetic Arts one along because that mint chip one that I have from Sinful Colors of the Candy Johnson collection, I like that formula better. This one here is very deceiving in the bottle. It looks like it would be really pigmented, but it's actually very sheer. And since I'm keeping that greenish one from Max Factor, I'm just going to get rid of this one. There's no sense in keeping it. I like this blush pink. It's very understated, which is why I like it. And I'm kind of torn on this one because I do see myself wearing it, but I also know that I have a lot of other pinks that I need to sift through. So I'm going to tentatively say I'm going to keep this because I love that it's just a subtle tone, but I may change my mind. And then I'm also going to pass this one on. It's so light. It's kind of a fun color, but it looks kind of dingy in the wrong kind of light because it's like a green purple shift, but I see more of this grungy kind of purple tone, and it's just not the most flattering, so I'm passing that along. This was so fun. I remember it being kind of like this kitschy, trendy little thing. As much as I love how it looks on my nails, I don't really see myself using it, and I think I've only used it once or twice. So I'm going to pass this on. I think this would be kind of cool to use in an art project or something. I'm also going to pass this China Glaze one off. It's really pretty, and I love that it's very subtle, but you would have to apply a couple of coats of this in order for it to reach full opacity. And I actually like the Sinful Colors one from that Candy Johnson collection better. This one's also a matte formula, so really between the two, the Sinful Colors one is superior. I'm kind of torn on this one because the glitter does apply uniformly, and I love that it's purple, but I'm not the biggest fan of the base of this. And you know what? I've changed my mind. I'm not keeping it because it has this grayish periwinkle base, but it's so sheer that it makes my nails look like they're dying. So I'm going to pass this on. I love this shade. I am a sucker for deep berry purples, so I'm definitely keeping it. It's getting old enough where I might have to thin it out. Otherwise, I'm going to have to get rid of it soon. But look at that. It's so pretty. Right off the bat, I know I'm going to keep this nude shade. It is a beautiful warm nude. I think it looks nice with my skin tone, so I'm definitely keeping. I'm also going to keep this Exceptionally Gifted one. It looks a little grungy gray on this fingernail, but that's because it's stained with all the purples and teals that I've been swatching. But this is really nice, and I remember this was, I think, the very first China Glaze nail polish I ever bought. It was a long time ago. It's still in perfect condition. This was a cool concept, but I just don't think it looks that nice. It's a matte black with a gold sheen, but because it's matte and that gold's in there, it kind of gives a weird yellow cast, so it looks like it's a really old black. So I'm going to get rid of this. I just don't think it's the most flattering nail polish, unfortunately. I think it would have been better suited to have a silver sparkle in there instead of gold. I'm torn on this one because this is such a fun neon pink. It does take some work to build up though. But this is perfect for summer, and I kind of want to wear this. But I'm going to put this in the maybes because I don't know if I will wear this beyond the summer, so we'll see. I'm also going to get rid of this one. I loved this nail polish, and I used to wear this a lot. And I also used it in some art projects. I actually used it in that clover video I told you about, but it's goopy and clumpy and gross. There's no way I can wear it, so I'm gonna throw this in the garbage. This one's gonna be a little tough because I kind of want to keep this blue, but at the same time, it's starting to show a little aging here where there's some bubbles in there, and it's also a little streaky. So I think I'm gonna pass this on, even though I really like the color. I just don't know that I'll wear this, but I want to keep it. I want to, but realistically, will I wear it? Probably not. And I do also have that mint color. This one's hard, you guys, because I love this color. Okay, I'm putting this in the maybe pile. Maybe. I'm going to come back to that in just a second. Okay, this one I love. I love this formula, so this one is a definite keep. This pinup pink one is also from the Candy Johnson collection. I just noticed that. It's a matte. It's pretty, although I'm not sure that I like the matte look. As I said, I could always put a glossy top coat over it, but I'm going to set this on the side because, as I said before, there are some pinks that I want to sift through before I make a decision on which pinks I want to keep. And then this Isla one, or Ayla, whatever, this is kind of a unique color. It's a brown raisin type of tone, and looking at it here, I think it separated a little bit in the bottle, but when I applied it, it's a solid color. So it might just be what's on the sides of the bottle that's kind of stuck. But anyway, looking at this color, I really like it. I think I want to keep this one because this one's a really cool color. Looking at it like this, I was like, I'm sure I'm going to declutter it. But now I'm second guessing myself, and I really like this brown. Okay, yep, I'll keep it. I'm not doing so horribly, but I need to be more stringent, I think. Okay. Right off the top, I know I'm not going to keep this specific one. You know, there was a time where blue-green duochromes were fun and popular. I think I'm done with this color combination. The purple tends to look muddy and kind of dingy gray, and it's just not my favorite when it's mixed with the teal. So I'm going to say goodbye to that one. The gold one I think wears pretty nicely, and I love that it's a uniform sparkle, so I'm going to keep that. This one's tough. I really love this color. This nice purple, and it still kind of has a scent to it, although again I don't necessarily think I'll be wearing it for the scent. This one's tough because I like the color, and it's a close dupe to another favorite that I have that I already know that I'm gonna have to like declutter. It's kind of got this blue silver tint to it, which is why I like it, but I'm not 100% sure on this, so I'm gonna set it on this side and kind of decide later. And then as far as this Go With The Flower goes, I think this is the first Sephora by OPI polish I ever bought, and it's still in really good condition. I love this pink. It is gorgeous, so I'm keeping it. Looking at this one, I'm not the biggest fan of this sugar texture. It looks like I got my fingernail stuck on something as it was drying, so I'm going to pass this on. This one is kind of on its last limbs. I did try to revive it. I feel like it might need a little bit more coaxing. This one was so pretty too, so I want to keep it because I know that I love the color. I know that it's at the end of its life, so I'm going to end up throwing it away at some point in the near future, but for the meantime, I'm going to keep it. Alright, so between these two, they are very similar, which kind of blows my mind because I wasn't expecting that. Now this one I got at Fame a couple of years ago at the China Glaze booth, and this was a shade that I really liked. It's actually one of my favorite nudes. But then looking at the Zoya one, it's just a tad bit deeper, and I like that it's a little bit more of a plum tone. But it's hard because they're so similar that I can't really justify keeping both of them. But it's like, which one do I choose? The more nude one or the more purple one? I don't know. I don't know, you guys. Help! Send help! I don't know. I don't know. Okay, I'm going to keep the China Glaze one, and I'm going to pass the Zoya one on. Eek! Eek! This is a suspended glitter. Not a fan of it. It's pretty sparse, so this one I'm going to pass on. This one is kind of a fun color, although I'm not 100% sold on it because it is a little sheer and I would have to build it up a little bit. But I like the color. I like that it's kind of a fun, unique shade. So I'm going to put this on the side as a maybe. This one is still one of my loves. I like this color. I know it's not quite the best tone on me, but for whatever reason, I just really like this color on me. So I'm keeping it. And as much as I love this kind of hot pink red shade, I'm going to pass this on because I have some others that are similar that I like a little bit better. Although this is a really great formula, I just don't see myself wearing this particular shade that often. Right off the bat, as much as I love this color and the fact that I can still get it on is amazing, but I have to throw this away. It is too gunky and clumpy. Yeah, it just needs to go. So I'm sadly having to throw this one away. This one's tough because I really love the idea and the color behind this. But sadly, this one is just another suspended glitter, although the base is more pink. But I just don't like messing with glitter like this, so I'm going to pass this on. Okay, this Nicole by OPI one, this cherry color is gorgeous. So these two were very similar. This Pure Ice one that I was looking at before. Of the two, I will keep the Nicole by OPI and get rid of this one so that I don't have any dupes. This one is kind of a fun color. It's a dainty shade that kind of reminds me of like ballerinas. And while I don't like glittery nail polish as much, this one is uniform and it covers the nail quite nicely. So I am going to keep this one, which I wasn't expecting to do, but this one is really pretty. This one kind of reminds me of Ruby Slippers from The Wizard of Oz because there's a bit of glitter in here. It's got a deep base, but then it reflects a brighter red glitter, which I'm kind of all about. Yeah, I kind of like this. I feel like it's unique enough that I want to keep it. And I like this formula, so I'll keep this one. Okay, this blue is like my favorite color of blue on the nails. I wear this kind of blue on my toenails all the time, so I'm definitely keeping this. I'm gonna pass this glittery one off as well. It's glitter suspended in a clear base and it's just really fussy, so I don't want to deal with that. This pink one is really pretty. It isn't something that I see myself wearing that often though, so I'm going to pass this one along as well. And then I have this one here that I can't even swatch. This one was also from the Candy Johnson collection with Sinful Colors. This is called Confetti. It's just dried up, so it needs to go in the trash. Right off the bat, I am going to pass this Ulta one on. It looks really pretty in the bottle. It's very deceiving, but the base is really sheer. It's just not a good base. If the base were more opaque, then the glitter would show up and not be so fussy to work with. But because the base is so sheer, I just have to pass it on. It's just not that great. This Gem Crush one, I love. What's unique about this is while it's a gold glitter base and it's quite uniform, there are also these lilac-y colored larger glitter particles in here, and then there's a little bit of a blue reflect as well, or maybe it's just reflecting off my shirt. I don't know. This one's so fun to wear. It's like if I want a little sparkle on my nails, this is perfect. So I'm keeping that. All right, as far as this one goes, it is a beautiful ink blue shade, but to be honest, because I'm keeping that other brighter blue, I'm kind of inclined to pass this off. It's pretty, but I don't know that I'll wear it, to be honest. So I'm gonna pass it on. I am. I think the same goes with this green. I love it, but I don't see myself wearing it. I love greens, but this is just not my green anymore. You know, I'm more of like a teal green or deep forest green. This one's pretty, but I just don't want a shimmer green, I guess. I don't know, so I'm gonna say goodbye to that too. I am shocked that I'm getting rid of that one, but I need to do what I need to do, so yeah. Okay, so this one is kind of an interesting one. So this is looking green on the fingernail because my fingernail is stained. I love the shade, but I think it's time to say goodbye. It's almost empty, so I'm gonna just toss this. The Ciate London one, this one's pretty, but I just don't see myself using it, so I'm gonna pass this one on. This one's tough because it's not as opaque as I would want it to be, but I almost could just put a white base under it. But it's a little fussy to do that. But I love that it's duochromatic, and I don't really have many. There aren't a lot of duochromatic nail polishes that I've come to find. Of course, I haven't really been shopping for them. It's unique enough that I'm going to keep it, and if I'm going to try it with a base underneath to see if that helps, and if it doesn't, then I'll pass this on. But for the time being, I am going to keep it. Now, I really like the shade, this Nicka K one. However, because I'm keeping the Isla one, the Isla one's a little bit more purple. I like that a little bit better, so I'm going to pass this one on as well. Pass this one off. It's a little old, the brush is a little wonky. The formula is okay, but I don't see myself wearing this one. I want to keep this blue. I really do. It's like the perfect cornflower blue almost. I haven't really kept many blues. The other one that I kept has a shimmer to it, but this one's more of a matte formula, or at least there's no shimmer in this one, in other words. So I'm going to keep it. I really like this color. So it's between these two that I'm conflicted because I love the shades, but they're not that opaque. Like this one is very sheer, and as much as I like it, I love the idea of a gold and green shift. I'm just not seeing a lot of the green in this enough for me to want to keep it, so I'm going to pass that on. And then this one here is also very sheer. It's a teal kind of midnight bluish purple shift. I'm going to see how it does with the second coat. Alright, there it is with the second coat. And I'm already keeping this luster one. So I'm keeping this one from Sally Hansen, which is pretty similar. It's a little bit deeper, a little bit more green. But I feel like I like this one a little bit better. So this is the one I'm going to keep, and I'm going to pass this one on. case of another suspended glitter in kind of a light blue base. Again, I'm not the biggest fan of these kinds of polishes these days, so I'm going to pass this on. As much as I love this color in the bottle, on the nails it's just kind of bleh. I just don't see myself wanting to reach for this, so I'm going to pass this one on as well. I love this shimmering blue. It pops. It's so metallic and shimmering, so I'm definitely keeping this. And then this one is pretty. I have a couple other corals I want to compare it to. Between these two, I'm going to pass this one off, this finger paints one, and then put this one as the contender since this one's newer and yeah. I love this red color. It's kind of it's just a really pretty red, but I don't foresee myself wearing it. And then I also kept the other red that has the glitter in it. I'm more likely to wear that one than this one, so I'm going to pass this one on. This one is kind of funky. It looks kind of cool, but I also just know myself that I won't wear it, so I'm going to pass this on. Maybe my sister will like it. This green, this is the kind of green I love. This sparkly, just true green. There's a little bit of, teeny tiny bit of gold in here. But for the most part, it's just a nice, pretty forest green, so I'm keeping it. And then this is a cool idea, although I'm not a fan of the base on this one, just like the other Ulta one I tried. The black base is just a little too sheer. If it were more opaque, then I think the glitter would stand out a little bit more, which is unfortunate because this is kind of cool, but if the base were better, I would be more willing to keep it. So I'm just going to pass this one on. Alright, looking at this red, it's a beautiful red tone, although as pretty as it is, I just don't see myself wearing it, so I'm going to pass this one on. I love this shade. It's the perfect orchid kind of magenta tone. I do see myself being able to use this up, at least in the near future, so I'm going to keep it. This one's hard to part with because I love this tone. However, in applying it, I'm just noticing it's a little streaky, and it is a really old shade at this point, so I'm going to pass this one on as well. And then this moss green one, this one is one of my favorites. I honestly wear this a lot. Actually, I wear this a lot more than you would expect. So I'm definitely keeping it. It's such a fun, unique kind of gray toned, mid-tone green. So keep. This one is really pretty and deceiving in the bottle, but it is so lackluster and blah. I am not keeping this. There's no point. It makes my fingernails look like I suffered through hyperthermia or something, so I'm going to say goodbye to this one. I love the color of this gumdrop one. It's kind of unique. It looks like a gumdrop, but it doesn't dry down to that weird sugary texture, so that's nice. I am going to keep this one and see if I reach for it. It's one of those I'm kind of on the fence about, but I'm more likely to keep it, so I'm not putting it in the maybe pile. I'm just going to keep it and see where I go with it. This used to be my favorite yellow of all time. Don't mind the smudge, but it's not applying in the smoothest fashion, and I'm just not, I just don't wear yellow nail polish anymore. I don't foresee myself ever wearing it again, at least in the near future, so I'm going to pass this on as well. And then this is a beautiful kind of tomato-like matte red. I don't think I'm going to wear it though. As much as I love that color, I think it would be pretty as a lip color. I just don't see myself wearing this nail polish, unfortunately, so I'm also going to pass that on. right away, this gray tone is ugly. I don't like this color on me. It has too much of a yellow tone to it. It makes my skin look deathly, so I'm getting rid of that. This blue one is really pretty in the bottle, but it's very sheer and it's just not the best quality, so I'm also going to pass that one off. I love this color. It kind of reminds me of that Avon one that I just passed on, but it has a little bit of sparkle to it, and I am keeping that. I think that's really pretty and I will wear that. And then finally this red one, you know, at first glance in the bottle, I was thinking, oh, I'm probably going to pass that on because it looks like the other one I passed on, but it doesn't. It has more of a pink tone to it, and it reflects more of a bright pink. So I think I'm going to keep this because it's not your typical red. And it's lighter and brighter than the other one that I'm keeping that's also sparkly. So it's unique to me anyway. So I'm keeping that. Oh my gosh, I just realized that I'm keeping so many. You guys, send help. Send help. I'm not good at this. This pink one is really pretty, but it looks really nasty next to all the stained cuticles. I think it's a really pretty nude sheer pink. I have another nude that's on that pink tone side, so I'm going to hand this off to my sister. I know she'd really like this color because this is kind of her jam. This one I'm kind of conflicted about, this platinum one, because the color is really cool. The only thing is that the brush is really small, which means that this kind of tends to be a little streaky. So I'm going to think on this one for a few minutes and decide from there. I love this green, although I don't see myself wearing it, to be honest. So I'm going to pass this on even though I love the color. I just don't love it on me enough to wear it. And then this is another suspended glitter kind of polish, so I'm going to pass this one on as well. Unfortunately, it's just not doing it for me. And actually, at a second glance, this pearl one is pretty, but I just looked at it from another angle and it's kind of odd. So I'm going to pass this one on. It would need a lot to build up the opacity and it's just not enough for me to want to keep it. Okay, these are all so fun and pretty. I love these brights, but if I were being honest with myself, will I wear them? I'm looking at all the colors that I'm keeping, and it's becoming a problem again. I'm getting rid of a lot. But am I getting rid of enough? I feel like once my collection is brought down to a reasonable size, or at least more reasonable than what I have here, it'll be easier for me to grab for colors. I love this red. It's like the perfect metallic red color that I love. It's got a gold shift to it almost, and I want to keep it because of that. And it is different from the other reds that I've kept, but will I wear it? I'm gonna say yes to this one. This pink, however, I'm going to say no to. As much as I love this bright neon kind of pink, I just know myself in that I probably won't wear it. This shade, however, is so pretty. I see myself wearing this more in like the fall winter months, so I will keep it for that. This has been one of my favorite kind of mid-tone blues for a long time. And as I said, I love this extreme wear formula. I'll probably wear this blue on my toenails, to be honest, so I'm going to keep it. That said, I'm going to pass the Zoya light blue one on because I just don't need this kind of light white kind of blue color. I don't know that I'll wear it. I'm also going to pass on this pink matte shade. As pretty as it is, I'm not going to wear it. Thinking about all the pinks I've already passed on, I'm not going to wear that. Same goes with this really bright neon pink. It's a little dry and matte, so I'm going to say goodbye to that one as well. And then I've got quite a few here that have since dried up. So there's this one here, which was a limited edition Valentine's Day collection from Sinful Colors. This is called Kissful Thinking. It's dried up, so it's going in the trash. This was also one of my favorite kind of glittery polishes. This was a really nice formula because it applied uniformly and it was fairly opaque. The base was great. This one's from Essie and is called Peak of Chic. I did a really cool nail art tutorial using this for Christmas, and I'm kind of sad that it's dried up, but it's time to let that go. This one is from Wet n Wild. It's a black base with a purple glitter. I don't think I liked this one, so I didn't really use it, and it's dried up at this point. The color is called Night Prowl, by the way. I'm going to toss this away because it's too old to even try to use. I loved this light strawberry milk kind of pink. That's actually the name of it, is Strawberry Milk. But it's a matte shade. When I went to apply it, it was really goopy. I'm going to go ahead and toss this one away. And then this glitter one also dried up, even though I loved this one because it has a pearly base and then all these fun glitters in here. There's some gold and then there's some little stars. This one actually did look nice on the nails, but it's just too far gone for me to try to save it, so I'm going to toss that one away as well. This has that sugar texture that I'm not the biggest fan of. Again, it looks like I smudged my nail on something, or it looks like bad leather, so I'm going to pass this on. This one is pretty, it's fine. I just don't see myself wearing this. I've got that Sally Hansen one that I like better, so I'm going to pass this one on as well. And as fun as this bright yellow is, I'm never going to wear it. It obviously looks kind of icky on my nails. You would have to wear a white base under it in order for this to pop. And I'm just not into neon. I'm just not. So I'm going to pass that on. This one, however, I love. I love this color. I love that it's kind of lilac, but it's also kind of blue. It's that perfect periwinkle shade. So I'm going to keep this. I actually will wear this and it's kind of unique. I don't have anything quite like this at all in my collection. So this first one here is a beautiful champagne shimmer. I feel like I already have one that's similar to this in what I'm keeping, but I don't now that I come to look at it. I have more of a gold one and a silver one and not a champagne kind of rose gold color, so I'm definitely keeping that. Plus it's a sample size, so I mean, yeah. This one I'm kind of in the air about. I like that it's like a very light chocolatey brown color, and it's a pretty nude. It doesn't quite fit with my skin tone, but that's kind of why I like it, because it stands out just enough. And I imagine that this would look really pretty under some sort of like gold glitter, but I'm not keeping gold glitter, am I? Never mind. On its own, I feel like it's a really cool color, but I don't know that I'll wear it, to be honest. You know what, if I'm going to be honest, I'm not going to wear this, so I'm going to pass that on. Alright, this Butter London one is really pretty. It's a beautiful burgundy shade. However, I also have this Nicole by OPI one that's very similar. And so I'm going to keep the Nicole by OPI, and I'm going to pass the Butter London one on since they're so similar and I don't need to. This China Glaze one, I love this shade. I use it all the time. When I do wear nail polish, it's one that I gravitate towards. I can wear it on its own, or sometimes I'll just put it on over a white or black base, and it's really pretty, so I'm keeping that as well. Alright, this one is a beautiful color. I can't believe I haven't worn it yet, but it is very similar to this one, and this one is just a bit more bright and bold. And because this one is a sample size as opposed to what a full-size version looks like, I think I might keep both. Maybe? I don't know, you guys. I need to think on that one. I mean, all these years I haven't used this yet. It is still in excellent shape. Yeah, the main difference between these two is that This one is just a tad bit more yellow, and this one is a little bit more pink, but you can barely tell. It's not that noticeable. But I love this color, so I think I'm going to keep both because I know that this will probably run out fast, and then this one I'll have as a backup. I know, I don't really need a backup. This I'm definitely keeping. It's a really nice black, and that was just one coat. It's completely opaque. And black nail polish is something that I find underrated. Just like I find white to be underrated. But I like a good black nail polish, especially for a base underneath some glitters. I know I was just talking about how I don't like a lot of those fussy glitters that are suspended in clear fluid. But this is one of those exceptions where if you have a really good black base, you can make some sparkles work. So there's that I'm keeping. This one is kind of a neat color. It's not a stark white. It's kind of an off-white. It almost takes on a pink tone, which I like. In comparison to a stark white, this is definitely more cream. And I do see myself wearing this, to be perfectly clear. Do I need this and a white? Probably not, but I still see there being value in keeping a stark white and this off-white as well. And then finally this silver one, this is almost out, so I'm going to use it up. It's a fun metallic silver, so I don't see any reason to chuck it when it's just a small little sample anyway, so I'm going to keep that as well. Let's start with Helen. I love that this is not a typical light pink. It's like a really light mauve tone. It's kind of a lighter version of this, which, as I mentioned before, is one of my favorite pinks. But I like that this one is a bit more nude. Now, will I wear this? I have a couple other nudes that they're in a similar tone family, but I need to think on this one for a minute. Now, I know I said I don't care, that I just don't like glitter suspended in a clear liquid. This, however, I am keeping. The reason for this is because I often use this in nail art. The glitter is chunky enough that I can just use a toothpick and actually be strategic about where I place it on my nails. And it's kind of fun. It's like stained glass almost. And I've come up with some really cool nail art using this, so I'm keeping it. The Ciate London one, it's kind of a chunky, non-uniform glitter. But this one looks really pretty over black. It's not as fussy as some of the others because it does have a really fine micro glitter in the base. So it does reflect kind of this purple look to it. So I am keeping this, and I did recently revive this, and it's really pretty. So I am looking forward to wearing that over black. I'm going to declutter this one. It's not the most opaque. When I look at it on my nail, it's just kind of like bleh. Why would I use this in nail art? The point of having the fine tip is to be able to do detail work on like darker colors, and I don't see that this would be really beneficial. So I'm going to just get rid of it. In terms of this pink, I'm going to say yes to this tentatively and then take a look at my overall collection and make a final decision once everything is kind of put back together. So out of the two blacks, this one is really watery, which is strange since they're the same product. So this one must be older or something. So there's no sense in holding on to the second one when it's not as good as the other one. So I'm just going to get rid of that and keep the other one. This green one is kind of cool. I use this for like Christmas nail art when I feel like doing it because the green sparkle is kind of fun to do little Christmas trees with. So I'll keep it. And then this white one is a good quality one, and since I got rid of the other one, I'm going to keep this one as well. Alright, we're down to the last of them. So the rest of these I am not going to swatch, but I'll tell you what I'm getting rid of or what I'm keeping. So this one was a fun one from Cosmetic Arts. They are silver and pink shards in a really pretty hot pink base. However, it has since dried up. There's no salvaging it, so I'm gonna throw it away. I have this little Bonbons one. It's like a minty green. It is just about out, so I'm gonna throw this one out as well. There's no sense in keeping it. And I don't know if any of you remember Bonbons, but it was like an 88-cent find at Walmart years and years ago. I don't know if they still have them, but they were kind of fun. All right, I have this Sally Girl one. There's no name on this one, but this was my favorite little mini for a long time. It's a really pretty orchid shade with gold shimmer in it, and I think it's a really lovely color, but it has since dried up, so I need to get rid of it as well. Here is another Sally Girl one. This one is a really pretty orangey coral shade. Just like the other one, this one has since dried up, so I'm gonna throw it away. All right, this one is an exception. This one is dried up, however, I'm keeping the container. The reason for it is because I have hope of one day creating some sort of makeup item that is an exact replica of this color. It is a smoky purple with silver glitter particles in it. I'm gonna leave it at that, but I think it's stunning. And then I have these two gel polishes here. This one is a nude shade. I actually just bought this during COVID because I was thinking I was gonna keep up my nails somehow doing gel, but I haven't used this yet. I do have plans to do gel at some point. I do have the UV light to cure it, so yeah, I do plan to keep this since this is a brand new purchase. I have this Nail Love one called Berry Sweetie. I've had this for years and I forgot I had this, to be honest, because it was still in its package. This one's a really pretty medium pink tone with a magenta sheen. For a gel polish, I think this would be really pretty on my toes. So I'm gonna keep this. It's a small container anyway, and if I don't end up using it, I'll just give it away, but for now I'm keeping it because I only have the two gel polishes. So yeah. I also have this, which is actually not a nail polish. These are little pearl beads that you can use in nail art, but it comes in the nail polish bottle, I guess, just for packaging purposes. So I'm actually going to take this and put it into my nail art drawer, so it's with everything else instead of putting it with my nail polishes. I plan to keep these. I don't know when I'll use them next, but I mean, they don't go bad, so I'll hold on to them for now. All right, going back to the items that I was on the fence about. So this one here from Pacifica, I was on the fence about, but I'm gonna go ahead and pass this one on. I don't foresee myself wearing this shade. I'm also gonna pass this red one on. I have a couple other reds that I chose instead, but it's a nice red. I just don't need it. I'm going to keep this grape color. This one is a really unique shade to my collection, and it's similar-ish to the one that's dried up, but just a bit lighter. I'm also going to keep this Pro Bell one. I think this is a really pretty, unique, pinky purple shade, and I've loved wearing this when I did wear it, so I don't see any reason to get rid of it. I'm also going to keep the orange. I know what I said, but hear me out. This is a really pretty, non-traditional orange. But I think this would be really pretty for the summer, and I don't see any reason why I should get rid of the orange if I like it. This is one that I was on the fence on because I'm keeping the off-white, and I also have that matte white from the Candy Johnson collection from Sinful Colors that I'm planning to keep. But that one has a little bit more of a sheen. This one's obviously glossy instead, and it's a pure white. So I'm gonna hold on to this just because I do love a good solid white nail. So and I like this formula a lot. Okay, which leads down to these final glitters. Okay, really quickly, I pulled this out of the get rid of pile because my camera died, and while I was waiting for my battery to charge, I decided to swatch these glitters on top of a black base. So I did that here on plastic because I didn't want to do it on my nails. My poor nail beds are already messed up pretty badly. I'm not enjoying how those glitters look on the white, but on the black, they look really neat. Sorry, it's really reflective. For example, this one here, this chunky one, has the blue, it has rose gold, it's got some silver and white in here as well, and it has kind of a mid-tone purple base. The base itself is more pink when you put it on the white, but when you put it on black, you don't see that. Instead, you just see the glitter, and the glitter is quite dense. When I do apply it over the top of something, it's actually quite nice. So I am going to actually keep this one. This one I was also on the fence about because it's very sheer, but I also applied this one over the top of both a black and a blue nail polish. So this is it right here in the middle, and then it's also on the blue, which on the end here, which looks really pretty. So I decided I'm going to keep this just to wear over the top of a black polish because why not? I pulled this one out of the get rid of pile because it has a really unique color story. It's a pinky purple base. It's got blue and kind of a light pink glitter, but then it's got micro glitter in a gold color, which is really unique. It's why I bought this, is because there aren't a lot of glitters that are similar to this, and over the top of a black, it actually looks really cool. That gold really pops out, and then you see some of these other colors just really standing out. You don't see that pink base as much. I don't necessarily like it on top of a white though, because it looks too pink for my liking. And then there's this one here from Sally Hansen. This one's fine. I don't necessarily like it over the top of either black or white. I think it's just because there's not a lot of variation in the glitter particle sizes, and I don't know, it's kind of bleh. I like the other ones better because it at least has some visual interest. And this is just a magenta and a blue and some white popped together, and it doesn't really have a lot of cohesion, so I am going to get rid of this one as well. Alright, all that's left are my top coats and clear polishes. Here's one that I know I'm going to get rid of. It has separated, and as I said, I'm not really into matte nail polishes, so having a matte top coat is just not, it doesn't make sense for me. I am just going to throw this away since it doesn't look like I can really salvage it anyway. I have this Essence Pastel Ombre top coat. I don't know that I've ever really used this, so I am going to try this out at some point. I think it'd be kind of fun to see how this works. And now that I've kind of gone through and curated my nail polish collection, I have a better idea of how I can use this. Okay, top coat wise, I have a few here. I have this OPI top coat that I really like. Not much to say about it except that it does make my nail polish last a really long time. It has a really nice glossy texture. And yeah, it's a fine top coat. This one is fun. This one's from Sally Hansen, and it is a Gel Shine 3D top coat. So this does give that bubbly kind of effect on nail polish. I do like this one in particular on glitter or on textured nail polish if I want to maintain that kind of textured look but have it be smooth and shiny at the same time. So this is what I use that for. And then I have this kind of really light top coat from Essie. You can also use it as a base coat. It's a 3-in-1 formula, and I find that it works really nicely. If I had to pick between the Essie and the OPI one, I would say the OPI one is my favorite. Alright, I have 3 clear nail polishes here. These are the same exact one from LA Colors, and then this one's from Sinful Colors. Now, the reason why I have these is because this is what I use to refresh nail polish with, or if I just want my nails to be a little glossy, then I'll put this over the top. But these are pretty versatile. You don't even have to use them for your nails. They work really well for jewelry, especially if you have an allergy to nickel and or if metal turns green or turquoise on you. This seals the deal. So I keep these regardless of me using them on my nails, so they're a keep anyway. Alright, I have these 2 base coats. This one is a base coat that kind of creates a gritty kind of texture on the base of my nails so that nail polish adheres to it. I like this one. It's called Feed Me. I don't know that it really does anything more than that. I don't know that it's really nourishing to the nails, but it does help my nail polish stick to my nails a little bit better. It prevents the peeling. I think this is a clear polish, but I use this as a base coat. It's called Flawless from Sally Hansen. It's their Diamond Strength No Chip Nail Color. This is kind of like a strengthening polish that I'll put on underneath all my nail polishes because it gives my nails some backup strength. It's like giving my nails some sturdiness because my natural nails are pretty flimsy and frail, which is why I keep them pretty short these days. And look how sad they look with all the stained cuticles. Anyway, but I really like the Diamond Strength from Sally Hansen. I also like their Nail Nourishing Strengtheners as well, but I don't think, I don't have one of those on me, but I use this as a replacement for that. Then I have these cuticle oils. This one is a cuticle repair, and this one's just a vitamin E base from Sally Hansen. They both work really well, and I'll tell you what, I'm definitely using them this evening because my poor cuticles need some TLC. Oh, I just realized I have this gel top coat from Essie. Brand new, still in the case, so I'm keeping that. I don't know how it compares to the Sally Hansen one. I'm quite eager to do a comparison between the two and see if I have a preference over one or the other. What's left here is Lightless Gel, base coat and top coat and adhesive, so I can have my gel nail polish, you know, stick to my nails and look decent. And then I also have some stuff for acrylics because I used to do acrylic nails on myself. So this is an activator. I have the powder and the tips and that sort of stuff in my nail art section. So I'm going to put this with those things. Then I have these Essence Nail Art Express Dry Drops. These actually work quite nicely, especially if you do a good job applying a thin coat of nail polish and letting it dry before you do a second coat. This helps your nails dry faster. This one is pretty comparable to, I think it's from OPI. I can't say off the top of my head if this one is as good as the other one or if the other one's better, so I'll have to let you know. I don't know if you're interested in that. Let me know in the comments if you'd be interested in knowing more about my thoughts on different nail supplies or nail products. And then I have Cuticle Remover from Sally Hansen. This works really well. I'm not doing this one tonight because my poor cuticles are screaming at me. The vitamin E is more my jam tonight. So that is everything. I'm going to go ahead and kind of straighten up and show you all that I'm getting rid of and all that I'm keeping, and then go from there. So these are all the polishes I'm getting rid of. These are the ones I'm decluttering, and there are 79 of them here. And then these are the ones I'm throwing away, and there are 18. So quite a few. I feel amazed that I have almost 100 polishes that I'm getting rid of. Holy smokes, you guys. Oh. And then these are the ones I am keeping, and there are 69 of them here. So way more than I had planned to keep, but I feel way better about having this collection being more curated than ever before. So hopefully now I'll actually wear those nail polishes. We have traveled into the future by several months. I'm editing the video now, and I realized I never filmed an outro. So I wanted to quickly come back and show you what this looks like now. It is so much more manageable. I initially thought I was going to be getting rid of this, but I'm glad I didn't because it still fulfills a purpose. You know, it still holds a lot of nail polishes, and I still have a lot. So I did find my Shesh Vite Restore, which is what rejuvenates and refreshes my nail polishes. So I'm glad to have found that because some of the polishes I've been able to bring back to life, the ones I really wanted to keep, so that was nice. But anyway, that's that. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Let me know if you want to see more nail art stuff. I'm still not wearing a lot of nail polish right now because life's nuts. Life's nuts. But anyway, let me know, and I will see you all in the next video. Have a great day and stay electric as always. Mwah! Bye!